I guess my background, I've had a little bit of experience doing full mouth rehab, but each time that I've done it, it has been difficult and complications, or the procedure took a really long time, or all of the little nuances. And doing it this time around with the way that Dr. Hill teaches it and his systems, it was just really streamlined. It took way less time than I thought it would. Temporization was like truly a breeze, and that's where I've really struggled in the past. One, not always knowing like how best to do the design process for the temporaries and the finals. I think in dental school we learn a lot of single tooth dentistry and how to manage really small bits and pieces, but you very rarely learn, okay, like here's how you rehab an entire mouth all at once. I think that the occlusal scheme and having the right ratios and being able to really have a nuanced eye when you're looking for aesthetics is sometimes daunting. And then I've done restorative work for a long time, so I felt pretty confident in my skills of prepping teeth. But temporizing an entire arch altogether, I have had much less experience with, and so that's traditionally where I've had hiccups in the past and where it gets really frustrating. And I've had, Essex retainers when I'm trying to use that as a stent, get stuck to the temporary material, and I've just had enough little things that are kind of nightmarish where I really wanted to take a course that would fully encapsulate all of the things that I was doing, so that I could not just watch a video of someone doing it, but do it in real time, so that I can figure out okay, where am I making mistakes, to then be able to correct that so that I can fix it for my patients. I think that Dr. Hill's systems are great. I had a lot of time to just kind of chat with him, and it's nice when you can talk to someone who's taken all of these the big powerhouse CE courses, and you look at LVI and Spear and whatever, and all of those different aesthetic courses, and he's taken all of that and then distilled it into a system over the last 10 years, pulling all of the best things from each of those different aspects and created his system. And so I haven't taken a lot of those courses, and so it was just really nice to be this is what works from there, this is what works from there, this is what works from there, and to be able to then just apply it into a really streamlined system of I think for me, I like things that are repeatable and things that I know are gonna work. And I think that's exactly what he's crafted, is just a system that works and that doesn't have hiccups. It's streamlined, and it just gets you from point A to point B in the easiest possible way. I've been wanting to get more of these cases under my belt for a long time. And so I think now having the tools that I have, it's gonna make it less daunting for me to present these cases. And sometimes you present a treatment plan and you're oh shoot, now I gotta do this thing. And so now I feel I am going to be more confident in presenting 10 over 10 or full mouth rehab cases, because I want to do more of these, and I've wanted to do more of these, but now I feel I actually have the tools to do it correctly and do it with reproducible, solid results. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting more. What I have found is that sometimes it's not the procedure itself that's the hardest part. It's usually managing complications. And so if everything goes smoothly, it's great, but you don't necessarily learn as much. And I think the thing that I love about CSI is that you get to see, you get to do the procedure, but then you also get to hear about hey, oh, if this went wrong, this is what you're gonna do. So I think if you are willing to bring your own patient, you get to manage the complications of, hey, I broke my temporaries, hey, my bite is off, hey, I'm having whatever issue. And if you're the one fixing that, in my opinion, that oftentimes is the most beneficial part of the course, because I think most dentists probably feel relatively confident in prepping a veneer or prepping a crown or whatever. But it's when you do it on a larger scale and you're then able to manage the complications that you really get to turn those wheels and make those connections, and then figure out, this is how I fix this and this is how I get those repeatable outcomes that you're looking for. So I am a huge advocate for bringing your own patient so that you can manage the complications. Otherwise, we're here to manage the complications, but It's not that the patient's not going to be okay, but you're not going to get the experience doing so. And I think that that experience is really invaluable. It was great. It was like I said, easier than expected, really easy to follow systems, and then having Dr. Hill kind of talk you through and just be there to like answer any questions that you have in real time just made all of those like little hiccups that you usually have doing full mouth. It just was good, easy, quick.